Fragrances every man should smell at least once in their lives. There are a lot of good fragrances out there, but some go above and beyond the rest. One of the first I'm going to start with is a really classic one that doesn't get enough attention in my opinion, which is Morning Chess from Wilhelm Parfumerie. So this is primarily a leather scent. It was inspired off of, I guess, the perfumers' days in their childhood, spending their mornings with their grandfather. So it has those kind of morning scents and leather and, you know, a very warm and rustic and cozy type of scent. Now, first of all, I think just in general, leather fragrances are phenomenal. This one does it really well because it's nice and rustic. You can really imagine that worn leather type of smell. But in addition, it just has a certain smoothness to it. It's not like this crazy hard fragrance that's too much in your face, too harsh. It's surprisingly smooth for the type of fragrance that it is. Strong without being too strong. Again, very balanced, very kind of languid and just nice in general. But this is definitely one to wear if you're looking for something very unique, with a little touch of leather, and in general just has that cozy vibe to it. Really good for cold weather, especially like, you know, autumn and winter. But yeah, and a classy option. It definitely has that certain air of sophistication to it, which you wouldn't expect from this type of kind of leather fragrance. Now, going on to the next one, which I also think needs a little bit more attention, but is still, you know, it's more well known than Morning Chess at least, which is Jovoy Incident Diplomatique. This is a beautiful vetiver fragrance. It has two types of vetiver, Haitian and Java vetiver, so you get the double vetiver for the extra power. It also has a really delicious note of nutmeg, which gives a little bit of spice, a little bit of warmth. In general, this is a very natural smelling fragrance. It also has some sandalwood and patchouli, so you're getting all these, you know, the green notes, the woodsy notes, the kind of grassiness from the vetiver. Very natural overall. Unisex option. Now, this one is also strong without being too strong. The longevity is probably around 7 hours. Just a very natural aura to it, very much like you've been spending several weeks in the forest and you've just come back and now you smell like the forest, you know, that sort of thing. Very pleasant for both men and women. It's just kind of a nice, kind of a warm and rustic old time smell to it. In terms of unisex, I would say it's definitely going more towards the masculine side of things, more rugged, but in general, just a very pleasant and surprisingly smooth type of fragrance. Now, the next one is one of my favorites because I just think it's an interesting concept. This is Replica Jazz Club. I think most people know about this. This is obviously trying to embody what a jazz club smells like. Very pleasant, has some tobacco notes, has some alcohol notes, kind of whiskey style, and in general, it's just very pleasant. I always like that it blends the tobacco, you know, with some other notes. And in terms of jazz clubs, I've never been to a jazz club, but I could imagine it smells at least similar to this. A very seductive type of scent. Masculine, classy, definitely meant for the evening or cold weather, you know, kind of autumn to winter type of fragrance. But besides that, also pretty versatile, very noticeable, very unique in how it presents itself. A very nice niche option as well. You know, if you kind of want to go away from the mainstream designer options, this is a great alternative. Just very pleasant all around in general. It would be very difficult to find someone who dislikes this just because it's so well balanced and so smooth. Of course, there are some people I'm sure who really dislike this, but in general, positive reviews on this thing. Now, going on to one that is also niche but more popular, more well known, which is Ligne from Parfum de Mali. So this definitely has gotten some traction in recent years. This is pretty much a super high class option, being from Parfum de Mali in general. This is an interesting mix of spicy and sweet. Some people are surprised at how sweet it is. It is pretty sweet, but I wouldn't say it's too crazy sweet. Now, it is also pretty well balanced with its spice notes, mainly like cardamom and things like that. And in general, it's really nice for cold weather. And in terms of daytime / evening wear, I would say you could also wear this in the daytime or the evening, but definitely a cold weather scent. You wouldn't want to wear this in the middle of summer. It's a little bit too heavy for that, but this is very strong. You don't need to put on very much to get the desired result. Only a few sprays. It'll last minimum 7 hours, probably more like 8 to 9. So definitely really good longevity on this, which is nice because this is a relatively expensive fragrance, so you want it to, perform well, smell good, last a while. And just in general, this is something that's ideal if you want to wear something that's very elegant, very put together, and very unique as well. Now, another one that I have, which is also one of my several favorites, this is Bleu Noir from Narciso Rodriguez. This is just an absolutely wonderful type of kind of, I guess, spicy and musky type of fragrance. It has some cardamom and some nutmeg mixed in, so immediately you're getting these really heavy spice notes. Then it's smoothed out with some musk, some wood notes, like there's some ebony wood thrown in there, which is a pretty rare note, some cedar. In general, this is an absolutely delicious fragrance. And there's not too many fragrances that smell remotely similar to Bleu Noir, and it's just really, really nice. Now, when I smell it, I personally think it's almost exclusively an evening scent. It just has that certain vibe to it, or like a midwinter type of smell to it because it's pretty heavy. The spice notes that come through are really prominent. They're really heavy, really warm. So you definitely wouldn't want to wear this, in the middle of summer or like in the morning. Again, it's more of an evening, nighttime type of scent, but despite that, it just smells so good that, I would be tempted to wear this just like all the time. But the longevity on this as well is surprisingly strong. There's not that many notes to it, but it really sticks around. I would say minimum 8 hours, and the smell that it has is so unique that it's kind of unbeatable, unparalleled compared to other fragrances that are even remotely similar, similar spice fragrances. But yeah, this is just a nice one if you really want to go for something different, something with some unique notes in it. But that is pretty much my list for kind of must-smell men's fragrances. So hopefully you found this video helpful. And if you did, of course, leave a like and maybe subscribe. And I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.